Hello everyone, welcome to Sentence Diagramming 101. This video is about exercise 6R, which is review. So we made it to the end of chapter 6 and now we're going to do all of the things, all the clauses. So we have to find our adjective clauses, our adverb clauses, and our noun clauses and then put them in the right spot when we are diagramming. So I'm going to move this up so we have a little bit of room, and I think these are all about psych, right? Yep, the show psych. Okay, so whoever writes each episode is creative. So this whole thing is my noun clause, right? It's acting as the subject. So within it, it has the subject. What do? They write. What do they write? Episode. So got a little Steve Doe in the middle of a slivisk, right? And I know that it's going to go in my noun spot. So I have whoever writes. And then what are they writing? They're writing an episode. And they write each episode, and then that whole thing goes on a stand in my subject spot, and they are, or is, creative. Creative is my subject complement, so I have the backward leaning line. Moving on to number 2, Sean, who is very observant, pretends to be a psychic. So Sean, who is very observant, that's my adjective. Clause telling me about Sean, but Sean pretends, and then what does he pretend? This whole thing. So infinitive. Object to the infinitive, and then he pretends to be a psychic. Okay, so we got Sean here, and what does he do? He pretends, and then what does he pretend to be? To be what? Psychic. Object to the infinitive, a psychic, and then he puts that down. And then what else do we know about Sean? He is, or who is, observant. Then how observant? Very observant. And then we draw a line from Sean to who to show that that is who the clause is modifying. All right, moving on. Former stars of Twin Peaks, whomever psych writers could get, starred in Dual Spires, a psych episode. Okay, so stars, and then they're stars of Twin Peaks, tells me what they were stars of, where, adverb. And then whomever psych writers could get, that's renaming stars, so that seems like an appositive. Yeah, and then they starred. And then they starred in Dual Spires, and then a psych episode. Ooh, again, another app. Got a lot of appositives in this number. Or in number 3. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, where do I need... I'll go right in the middle. Okay, so we have stars. We know that they are former stars. And we know that they are stars of Twin Peaks, so I'm going to TP that. And then I know that I have a positive noun clause here. So writers, what kind of writers? The psych writers. And then they could get, and then who could they get? Whomever. Now whom, right, is my clue that it's an object, because otherwise it would be whoever. Then it would be the subject. But whomever is always the object. And that whole thing goes here inside parentheses because it's in a positive. Okay, and we know that they starred. And then what did they star? In an episode called Dual Spires. And then what do we know about that episode? It was an episode. And it was a episode, and it was a psych episode. Make sure that your modifiers, your adjectives, go underneath the appositive. So a and psych need to go under episode, not under Dual Spires. All right, number 4, since they reference a lot of pop culture, paying homage to Alfred Hitchcock films was inevitable. All right, so this is a dependent clause, adverb, right, telling me when they did the thing. So what is the thing? They reference what? A lot. And then of pop culture, prepositional phrase, what kind of a lot? So that's an adjective. And then paying homage, so it's a gerund with the object of the gerund, but that's my subject. And then that's the kind of homage, so adverb or adjective. And then what was it? It was inevitable. So we really have a slivisk with a dependent clause that happens to be a Steve Doe. So we always put our independent clause on top. So we know we're going to start with the gerund. So we know we're going to have paying, and then paying what? Paying homage or respect, right? And then what kind of homage? It's to films. And then what kind of films? Alfred Hitchcock films. I'm just going to put AH. And that whole thing is my subject. All right, and then it was, and what was it? Inevitable. Then I have the second part, since what they reference, and then what are they referencing? The lot, and it's a lot, and it's a lot of pop culture. Oh, it's a lot of culture. And then what kind of culture? Pop. Moving on to number 5, in the vampire episode, that's when, so, or where, adverb. We have Marlo Vicello, whose brother is Trouble, that's going to be my adjective clause, is played in transitive verb by the original Buffy actress. Ooh, we got another appositive in here, Christy Swanson, renaming actress. Okay. I feel like I'm going to go right in the middle. All right, so we have MV, and what was he doing? He is played. And then what do we know about him? We know that his brother is Trouble. So we'll do that. And then I know whose goes like that, right? And then is played. Oh, in the vampire episode. So in the episode. Which episode? The vampire episode. The vamp. And then is played by. All right. And then by actress. And then which actress? It's the actress. It's the original actress. Is the original Buffy actress. And then that actress happens to be Christy Swanson. So she goes in parentheses. And that's number 5. Moving on to number 6. Ralph Macchio plays a cop. So we got Ralph Macchio plays what? Cop, direct object, in an episode. That's going to be an adverb, tells me where. And then that shows viewers references. Okay, so that's describing the episode. So that is an adjective clause. So we know it's going to go underneath. I'm going to do Ralph Macchio plays. And then what does he play? He plays a cop. And then where does he play? He plays in the episode. And then which episode? We know that it's an episode that shows viewers. I just did that wrong. Just kidding. That shows what? That shows references to the viewers. Try again, Jen. All right. Should have worked it out, right? That shows what? Those references to the viewers. Viewers is independent clause. Wow. Indirect object. Whew. So that shows those references. And they are Police Academy references, and then shows the viewers. Whoa. There we go. And then I need episode in that to get joined by a dotted line. Moving on, only a few more left to go. Number 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll get through these really quickly. So I've got several She's All That alum guest star on Psych because Sean's best friend is played by Dooley Hill. Dooley Hill? All right. So that's my dependent clause. I've got the alum, and what do? They star. And then where do they star? On Psych. And then I've got because his friend is played, and then played how? By Duke Hill. So prepositional phrase. Alright, so let's see. I've got alum. What kind of alum? Several alum. Several She's All That alum. I'm just going to do SAT like that. And then what do? They star. How do they star? They guest star. And where? On Psych. Alright. And then what else do they do? Because that friend... What about that friend? Oh, it's a best friend. Oh, and it's Sean's best friend. Just kidding. Sean's. And then that one is played. And then by Dooley Hill. Okay. Moving on to number 8. Tuesday the 17th, which is one of the horror episodes. So that's my subject. What does it do? It uses a thing, references. And then these are where those references. Oh, which references? The ones from Friday the 13th. And then what do I have? Which is 1, right? Which is 1, and then of the horror episodes. Okay, so we got Tuesday the 17th. Uses what? References. And then which references? They're from Friday the 13th. And then we know that it is 1, which is 1, and then 1 what? 1 of the episodes. What kind of episodes? The episodes and the horror episodes. And we know that it is Tuesday the 17th, which is being modified, so that's why they are connected. Number 9, the episode with Carl Weathers included a reference to Rocky, since he played Apollo Creed. So we've got the episode included what? Included reference. So that whole thing is going to be my Steve Doe, then prepositional phrase, right? Which episode, adjective. Since he did what? He played a thing. Who'd he play? Apollo Creed. Adverb clause. So I've got episode, the episode, and it's the episode with Carl Weathers. Included what? The reference. It was only a reference, and it was one reference, apparently, a lone reference to Rocky. And that was because he played, and then what did he play? Oh, he played Apollo Creed. And then I go verb to verb, and I put a because in here. Moving on to number 10, last one. Fans enjoy what they did with the Clue episode. So fans enjoy, this whole thing, right? What they did with the episode, except that's a prepositional phrase. So they did what? There we go. And then that whole thing is my direct object. We're ending on an easy one. All right, so what do they do? Fans enjoy. What do they enjoy? This whole thing. They enjoy, they did what? Oh, and then they did it with the Clue episode. So with the episode, which episode? The episode, the Clue episode. Then that whole thing is my direct object. And that is exercise 6R. We're done. You are ready for a pause, probably, before you get into chapter 7, which is sentence types.